Alright guys, so I'm back. I know it's been a while, sorry about that. So as you know, I've been on holiday, and then while I was away, I got a couple of little videos out, a couple of little shorts. Hopefully you enjoyed them, something a little bit different, a bit of fun. But we're getting back to the actual reviews now. So the reason I've been so long, apart from being on holiday, is you've probably seen some of the community posts I've done. I had some family stuff going on, so I've had to deal with that. But I'm back now, got a few watches lined up, so this is going to be the first one I'm going to be doing. It's from RMALTI. I've actually got a couple of watches in from them, so I got a bit of a deal. I think I got them for half price when I bought the two. But full disclosure, just to let you know, as you know, it's not going to change the way I do my reviews, going to keep it 100% honest all the time, no matter what. So the question is, are these RMALTIs any good? You might have seen another one that other channels have reviewed, but I don't think anyone has reviewed this one just yet. So enough waffling, we'll jump right in, find out what it's all about. So here's the packaging it comes in. Pretty nice case instead of a useless box, which is always good. And then quickly go over what we've got in here. So we've got the warranty card, the RMALTI branding, and it is actually dated, which is good. And then you get the QR code with all the seller information and the store. So nice little touch. Then we've got the links I've taken out. So to get it to fit my 7-inch wrist, I've taken out 3 links. They're actually screw links as well. And then other than that, we've got the watch. So take this out, get all this to one side, and then we'll go right down to it. And here's the actual watch with that lovely mother of pearl dial. So this is the main reason I picked up this watch, because I just thought the dial looked absolutely fantastic. Depending on the light you get it in, you can transition between a bit of like a greeny kind of blue, and then also a bit of pink popping in at the bottom there. Just a really dynamic dial, as you'd expect with mother of pearl, and I think it looks fantastic. Obviously, you'll get different ones. They're all going to be unique, so there won't be any identical ones to this. They'll all be slightly different, but I think that just adds to it. If you're not keen on this colour, they also do a white one as well. So if you want something a bit plainer, a little less colour going on, still that lovely little bit of play with the dial, that might be a better option for you. But as I say, I really like this one. So before we get into this in any more detail, let's go over the dimensions. So we've got a diameter of 42mm, a thickness of 14.2mm, lug width of 20. When it comes to the lug to lug, we have actually got male end links on this. So the actual lug to lug is 48.8, but if you take into account those end links, it's more like 53.4. But before you click off, you can see they curve down pretty quickly. So it does still conform to wrist really nicely, as I'll show you a bit later. If you're liking the dimensions on this, but you're still not keen on the mother of pearl, they do actually also do a Meteorite version of this, although that is a bit more expensive. So I'll probably leave a link to that down in the description as well if you want to check that one out. I'll quickly show a couple of little bits on screen so you can see some of those options. But again, links are down in the description for all of these. So let's take a quick look at the rest of the watch. So you probably saw the side profile there. Really nice bit of curvature to that case, as well as those end links as I said earlier. We've also got a nice mixture of brushed and polished details on both the case and the bezel. So just catching the light nicely there. Do like that. We've also got drilled lugs, which are always good to see, which makes changing out the strap, or in this case bracelet, a lot easier. When it comes to that bracelet, it's a fully brushed bracelet. As I say, it has got screw links. This clasp, this is one of the little things I don't really like. I don't like that they put RMALTI design. I'd rather they just had the RMALTI on there, or perhaps even the same as this logo on the crown. Let's see if we can get this to show up. Yeah, there we go, that stylized R. Perhaps put that on there instead. But I don't think you need the RMALTI design. But the good thing is, we've got double pushers, milled clasp, and then you can probably see just before that case back in there. Nice little design of the ship. And then we have actually got divers watch 200m. It's not divers certified 200m, but it should hopefully be at least 200m water resistant anyway. all stainless steel, automatic Japan movement because it's the NH35, and then just the model number. And we've got solid hand links there, as you'd expect. When it comes to the levels of micro adjust, you've got 3. I perhaps would have preferred 1 more, but it's probably going to be good enough for most people. So before we look at that dial in a bit more detail, let's talk about the bezel. So it's a ceramic bezel insert, 120 click bezel as well. Got a nice action on it. Not really any backplay, although if I'm being really nitpicky, it is a touch on the light side, what I'd prefer, but I haven't had any issues knocking it or anything, so it should be alright. And it also lines up nicely, no issues there. And then, as I said, finishing on the edge of that is nicely done. If it was any tighter, it might be a touch slippy, because it is fairly smooth there, so I think they've worked it out quite well. So let's get a look at that dial in more detail, as I said. So you can see we've got printed RMALTI at the top there, below the 12, that automatic, and then dive is 200, so again, that might put some people off. Then we've got applied indices, that silver surround, all nicely finished, nicely aligned, no issues there. Then we've got that date window at the 3 o'clock position with the matching silver surround. Nice proportions on all the hands, and again, nice high polish on them, just playing with the light nicely. Does look good. Then we've got that chapter ring just on the outside. And again, that lovely dial, that mother of pearl. Just playing with the light really nicely. This is one of those watches you can just stare at for hours and it will just kind of mesmerise you, kind of lose track of time, ironically. Quickly show you that movement in action. So screw down crown. So pop it out once, and we can change the date, pop it out again, second hand stop square hacking, as you'd expect with the NH35. Just the time, pop it back in, second hand re-engages. Got a hand winding, and then screw it back down, all working well. No issues there at all. So now, let's test whether we've got sapphire crystal, using the trusty down select stick. And no, we haven't. So this is a little bit of an issue, because the listing does actually say it's got sapphire crystal. But as you can see, there was not even a flicker over this with the diamond selector. So I've contacted the seller to get them to clarify whether they are actually going to be sapphire. I suspect I may just have got an early model, because I think these have just come out as far as I know. So perhaps this was an early kind of prototype or something, and that's why they've sent it out to me to get the review done. But as I say, my particular one, at least, isn't sapphire. If I find out in the meantime, I will either add something on screen or down in the description or pin a comment to let you guys know if it is going to be sapphire though. So that is a little disappointing. But one good thing with it, if I can get this to come up on camera, if you see around the edge there, and obviously you could probably tell as well, we're not getting a great deal of glare on this. So we have actually got some AR. So that's good, because you definitely want to be seeing that lovely dial. So now let's check out what the Lume's like. So you can see we've got a bit there already, but let's charge it up, give it a proper chance. And there we go. So pretty impressive Lume. As you can tell, we've got BGW9 there, so we've got that ice blue kind of colour. And it is really nicely done. Evenly applied across all the indices and the hands. And then obviously we've got that loomed bezel as well, which is a nice little bonus. not just the Lume pip. So looking really, really good. And actually surprisingly consistent across the hands and also the bezel. Normally you get the bezel which fades quite a bit quicker, but not with this one. They last about the same amount of time. And that is a decent amount of time. Not quite up to San Martin standards. I'd say just below that, but still, that's pretty impressive. Especially for a new brand. So, definitely impressed with this one so far. Eventually the bezel will fade a little bit, especially those dots, and then the numbers will start to go. They do fade a little bit quicker than the indices, but as I say, not by too much. There's not a great difference between the two, which is always good. If you're getting good lume on that bezel, it's normally a good indicator that it's going to be good on the dial, and this doesn't disappoint. As you can see, still really bright, consistent as well, no patchiness anywhere, so all good. So all that's left to do now, show you what it's like on wrist, and then we'll wrap this up. So this is what it looks like on my 7-inch wrist. And as I said, with the curvature to that case and also those lugs dropping down pretty much straight away, it does conform to my 7-inch wrist really nicely. So despite the actual end link to end link measurement being over that 50mm, it does wear really nicely still. If you were worried about that, you don't need to be. Obviously you've got a smaller than 7-inch wrist, you'd need to reassess that. I think it might be 7 and above this one. But as for the actual watch, I'm really liking it. As I say, that gorgeous dial. Nice bit of light play with that on those polished hands and the indices as well. Even get a little bit of light play from that ceramic bezel. Details on the bezel edge as well. And then you've got that nice brushed finish on the bracelet, so you don't need to worry about it getting scratched. Nice little polished chamfer details on the clasp. And it just wears really nicely. So I'm really impressed with this. With it being a brand new brand, not one I've checked out before, fairly sure it's brand new, like this is one of their first watches as far as I know. It's a great start. So I'm really excited to check out that second one. If you are as well, make sure you subscribe so you don't miss when that video drops. But that's it for this one guys, thanks for watching and I'll see you in the next one.